Hi, this is Dana Diorsi from CoachWithDana.com with this week's video success strategy. And these videos are intended to provide you with the marketing and mindset tools you need to grow your business, unleash your potential, and create your most extraordinary life. So this week, I'd like to reveal an area where you may be leaving money on the table. And this happens pretty regularly when I take on new clients. Sometimes they'll say to me, I don't really have, my pipeline is dry. I don't really have any leads that I can follow up with right now. And I always challenge them on that. Because almost everyone has people that they may have met in networking events or, wherever, who may have at some point expressed just a little bit of an interest in what they do. And so maybe it sounds something like, oh, that sounds really interesting. I'd love to talk to you about that sometime. Or, gosh, I could probably use that. And for whatever reason, you haven't really directly followed up with them. So I'd like you to, this week, think about all of those. You kind of go through your calendar, think about the different networking events you've gone to, the different people you've met, and just kind of write down all of the people that either expressed an interest or just reached out in some way, but never really transpired to an actual strategy session or a get acquainted call. And then I want you to think about all of the people that you may have had strategy sessions or get acquainted calls with in the past, who for whatever reason it hasn't transpired into a paying client. So it could have been that it wasn't the right time for them, they weren't ready to move forward, maybe it was cost prohibitive for them at that particular point. So also write all of those people down and make a list. I like to use a spreadsheet for this, and I call it my warm prospects to nurture and love. And that's exactly what I do with them. I try to nurture and love them. And what you'll want to include on this spreadsheet is their name, their contact information, some notes on what their particular situation was, if they were referred to you by someone else who referred them. So you kind of have all of that information there. And you want to keep this list somewhere that's visible for you. So you can keep it on your desk, maybe on the wall by your desk, so you're always seeing that. And really all you need to do is just follow up regularly with those people. Just kind of check in to see where they're at. And so with the first list, those people that expressed a little bit of an interest but it never really transpired to anything, you could just send them an email or give them a call and say, I remember a while back you had mentioned, you had expressed a little interest in what I do, and I'd love the opportunity to sit down with you for coffee or maybe just schedule a phone chat so I can learn a little bit more about your situation and see if I might be able to help you. And with the people that you've already spoken with in the past, you can just send them a quick email just saying, I know the last time we spoke, this wasn't the right time for you or whatever that reason might have been. But I just want to, see where you are in your process and if, I can support you in any way. No pressure, but just wanted to check in. And you can do that. I like to do that on a quarterly basis. So it's not too frequent. You're not hounding them, but you're just kind of checking in. You're letting them know that you're there for them whenever they need you. And the other thing, when you have that list out, you can kind of always have them, I like to look at it at least once a week, really take a look at it and think about, are there any articles of interest that I found for those people that I could send their way? Is there, something that I saw news in their business that's going on that I could send them an email and congratulate them for? So something where you're just kind of on their radar screen every once in a while. And that's the key. People always say, the fortune is in the follow-up. So the key is your stay in touch marketing. Just making sure that you're always on your prospect's radar screen, because people will buy when it's the right time for them to buy. And so maybe when you initially meet them, it might not be that right time, but could be 6 months down the road. And if you don't follow up with them, you're missing out on that gold mine. And I know personally this always happens to me on the reverse. I know there's people that I've expressed interest in that I'd like to learn more about their services, and they never follow up with me. And typically I end up going to someone else because that's just who was in front of me at the right time. So, they kind of missed out on that sale because they weren't following up. And the other thing I want to mention about this, which is so great about this strategy, is it really positions you as someone who is reliable. So that consistency of follow-up in your prospects' minds, it really positions you as someone who they can really count on, that is reliable. And if you are this consistent, before they're a client of yours, imagine how consistent and responsive you're going to be once they are a client of yours. So that's really a great aspect to keep in mind as well. And the other great idea is maybe, look through that list and see if there's any common reasons why people haven't worked with you. And so I'm just going to throw out an example. Say pricing was an issue and they just didn't have the funds at that time to work together. And maybe you've seen that issue come up a lot. Could you offer a group program to better suit their needs? Maybe there's a lot of local people on that list that you've met through networking. Could you throw together a quick VIP coaching day? So it's not necessarily something new you have to create, it's something you already do with coaching, but you're bringing a group of people together so it's at a lower price point for them so they can get the help that they need at a cost that works better with what the budget that they're working with. So kind of use that also to jog your thoughts on some new product ideas or new programs. So this week's assignment is to really go through your calendar, think about all of those people that are sort of out there, expressed an interest at some point, but you haven't really closed the loop with. Put them on a list. You're going to call it your warm prospects to nurture and love, and then just nurture and love them. So check in maybe on a quarterly basis as you see some articles that might be of interest or some news that might be of interest to them, forward it their way, and you'll always be on their mind. They'll always have you top of mind. So when they're at the point where they're ready, you're the person that they think of. So I hope you liked this week's success strategy. If you did, I'd encourage you to share in the comments below. And if you're not already on the list to receive these videos by email, I encourage you to go to my website at coachwithdana.com, enter your name and email, and you'll be added to the list. Until we talk again, this is Dana D'Orsi from coachwithdana.com, encouraging you to build your business and live your life with clarity, intention, purpose, and conviction.